Welcome everybody. This Michael Jackson History Tour Deep Dive series is based on my book, Anthony King's Guide to Michael Jackson's History Tour. But you can also find Anthony King's Guide to Michael Jackson's Dangerous Tour, as well as my other Michael Jackson book, Michael Jackson and Classical Music. Now they're all available on paperback and Amazon Kindle, and you can find out more on my website, anthony-king.com. Okay, get ready for a really deep dive into Michael Jackson's History Tour. History Tour Restructuring, Reductions and Changes, Part 2. Sydney, Australia, 16th of November 1996. Costume changes. We notice that the backing dancer next to Michael and the other backing dancers who usually wear the full silver outfits at the sides are wearing black trousers now. Previously, they've been wearing full silver outfits, and I believe that this is because the backing dancers were detracting slightly from Michael. In layman's terms, they were too bright next to Michael, and when all of the dancers wear black trousers, they all look more uniform and blend more. Manila, Philippines, 8th of December 1996. If we look at They Don't Care About Us, we now have a return of the full silver costumes for two of Michael's backing dancers. I have no explanation for the change, but something which is very interesting is that we see another reduction in the number of dancers that explode out of the stage for tonight's introduction. Now, only two. Manila, Philippines, 10th of December 1996. We notice that directly behind him there is an additional pipe which has been cut into the staging underneath the band to ventilate Michael. We see additional ventilation incorporated into the staging now, which was not there in the other countries. They Don't Care About Us. We see a different formation for the introduction. The two dancers wearing the full silver outfits participate in the introduction dance itself after being launched initially rather than launching after and dancing in the main performance. We see that Michael is still changing around configurations and formation of the dancers. Smooth Criminal. Tonight, before the lean, we have what appears to be Taco dancing a solo, replacing Kevin Dorsey, the backing singer. This is a brilliant change, and that role should always have been done and taken by Taco or a backing dancer in my opinion, like previously on the Dangerous Tour. Whoever it is that did that short dance creates a different element of excitement not given by the non-dancer doing the same role. Beat It. We see a reduction in the number of backing dancers. Michael has reduced his backing dancers to 4 for the main Beat It choreography tonight. The dancer formations and configurations are still changing and evolving. Brunei. Tuesday the 31st of December 1996. One thing that we do notice is that during Scream, all 4 toasters are retracted, which is unusual since they have not been all used simultaneously since the first shows of the tour. Over to Smooth Criminal. Tonight, we have what appears to be Taco dance before the lean. We have the full 6 dancers doing the lean tonight alongside Michael as well. Special show. Tonight's show was one of the most unique and special shows of the History Tour, not only due to various logistics, for example no side towers, and technical changes, but due to special musical changes. Let's take a look at the musical changes. This concert is a celebration not only for the audience, but also for Michael and his team. If you listen closely, you will be able to hear that they've changed nearly all of the songs as the sounds, instrumentation, and music is closer to the original records tonight. And this is a unique show, so the changes are for one night only. Change of shoes. If you look tonight, you'll see that Michael changes his shoes. You will see that they do not have the silver addition on the heel, which is actually a theme change. He is wearing his normal loafers and will do that for the rest of the tour. Leg 2, Michael Jackson's History Tour, Bremen. The dancers. Laurie Werner, Shawnette Hurd, Travis Payne and Courtney Miller have left the tour. They've been replaced by only 2 dancers, Fawn Chambers and Stacey Walker. This is obviously a serious reduction. It also appears that Taco, although not accredited officially, did dance on the first leg of the tour and would take a more behind the scenes role for the second leg, for example, teaching children the parts for Earth Song and Heal the World. We also note that backing singer Finesse has left the tour and has been replaced by the singer Fred White, keeping the backing singer lineup as 4. However, this will soon change and be reduced to only 3. Daryl Finesse's rap is now performed by Kevin Dorsey. Michael just released his Blood on the Dance Floor album a few days earlier and decided to incorporate the song Blood on the Dance Floor into the concert tonight. Come Together and DS are now dropped and will not be performed again on the tour. The rocket ship, we notice straight away that we have an additional light which is placed inside the rocket ship which illuminates it brightly. It's possible that this is a wind machine fan to give him some ventilation, but it looks very much just like a light. If we look at Scream, we notice that drummer Jonathan Muffet adds a basic bass kick thumping sequence, indicating that the end of the song is near. Probably a sign for Michael, and this will be a musical feature in addition to all future shows on the tour. We note that the platform has been removed later in the show. We notice that the platform which Michael steps down onto is no longer removed during Scream, as it remains in place for the first few songs at least now. And this is because the removal probably distracted from the performance and blocked certain views of the stage. If you look at the shoes, you'll notice that Michael changed his shoes from Brunei onwards, and Michael no longer wears the shoes with the silver heels as he's wearing his traditional black loafers, and his gold trousers look very long and are hanging over the trousers. They look very baggy compared to the last leg of the tour. We have much reduced pyrotechnic display, and the number of blasts through the show has been reduced consistently. We also notice straight away that during They Don't Care About Us, we only have 2 pyrotechnic blasts over a total of 4 explosions. So this is a reduction of 50%. We also notice that we only have 2 backing dancers jumping out from underneath the stage, which is a permanent reduction of 50% too. In the number of dancers launched, we hear that the sound effects that occur are not actually sounds of real explosions, but of pre-recorded explosions. If we take a look at They Don't Care About Us, we now see a reduction of the principal backing dancers from 6 down to 4. Michael performs the key choreography with only 4 backing dancers now, which is a significant decrease in the visual impact. We also see a change in costumes as the additional dancers that jump out are now wearing silver tops with black trousers, and musically we hear changes with fewer strings and pad elements replaced with a kind of ethereal paddy synthesizer sound which is lighter and with less depth in my opinion. There are significant musical changes. Just before the guitar solo, we only have 3 large hits, which are slower and powerful with different choreography performed now. We previously had 4 hits and faster choreography during that section, and this will all remain in place for the whole of the rest of the tour. I must say that this is a drop in quality in my opinion. In addition, we see that Michael is dancing the song very far forward, and that the formation is now an arrowhead formation permanently. Now we also note that at the start of In the Closet, the backing dancers who hold the flags now descend into the stage with their flags, rather than, like in the first leg, run off backstage. We look at Smooth Criminal. We notice straight away that Michael performs a lean with 4 principal backing dancers only for the rest of the tour, and this is a reduction from the initial 6 down to 5 and now down to 4. And we also notice that we only have 2 principal dancers at the beginning of the song, which is a drastic reduction and seriously affects the performance in my opinion. If we look at Beat It, Michael performs the dance with only 4 backing dancers tonight and will do so for the rest of the tour. We notice that Jennifer Batten no longer has fluorescent electrified hair for the guitar solo as well, which means that she doesn't have to wear a wire behind her. If we look at Blood on the Dance Floor Extended, Michael performs this song wearing a red blazer jacket reminiscent of the video, and this is the only show on the tour where he will wear this jacket apparently. Now musically the performance is also different, as the normal musical outro is 16 bars or 8 times 8 counts. However, tonight's performance of the song is extended significantly and totals 12 times 8 counts, which is over a third longer than the usual version that he would go on to perform. It's also been suggested that the extended version and the red jacket is actually from Michael's show on the 6th of June, but it's my opinion that it's in actual fact from the first show in Bremen. However, we must be open to the possibility, as we don't currently have any kind of additional objective confirmation. If we look at Dangerous, we now have a sharper performance with fewer dancers, as Michael is only performing with 4 principal backing dancers. We also notice that the pre-recorded elements that are secondary in the mix are much lower or possibly even removed. If we look at Black or White, we have a great rap by Kevin Dorsey tonight, and we really hear him pronounce the word racism. This is a personal change because Kevin Dorsey will now take over the rap duties for the rest of the tour. A personnel change. Benny Collins is now to be seen on stage in the second leg of the tour, it seems. Earth Song. We noticed that the reprise now has a distinct tempo to it. It's slightly brighter and quicker. You no longer hear any additional live backing vocals on top of it too. It's purely an instrumental ending to the song now. If we look at the crane design, we notice that when Michael jumps onto the cherry picker, we no longer have the additional lights surrounding the base, as they are now all internal and enclosed within the base of the crane itself. Now this means that when Michael hangs out, there's no chance of him hooking his feet on the light covers and other equipment like he was doing in the previous parts of the tour. If we look at history, obviously, less personnel to perform on stage, which reduces the impact of the performance and the number of musicians playing the song.